Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast with myself, your host, Edgar De Jesus. And yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John, JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today, we're talking about the Aqua Live Show. It will be held October 5th to the 7th at the Charlotte Convention Center in North Carolina. And we're going to do a deep dive and learn all about it. I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting and splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our sponsors for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, poolinvoice.com, Blu-ray XL, Aquastar Pool Products, and Pivot Pool Products. We want to thank them for their continued support. John, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And, you know, it kind of threw me off there because we're used to saying Zach, good morning, right? And I get about 45 seconds to kind of prepare my thoughts and to think of something funny to say in front of Zach. But unfortunately, I'm not in that position this morning. Very well. I'm excited because one, rain. I don't know for those you hear about where I'm out in the desert, out in Kachuk, half-inch of rain a year total, and that's if we're lucky. And we're going to be getting about 2 inches of rain between today and tomorrow. So all hell's going to break loose out here. I'm serious. We are not built for rain. If we get a half-inch of rain and there are cars flooded, streets are broken down. We have areas that are like called the Cove, where everything just kind of it goes uphill and comes down, and it creates like this huge lake, and nobody can go in and out. It's going to be complete pandemonium, and I love it. I'm looking forward to getting some rain and getting the pool man's holiday today. Hopefully, it's going to start around noon. And then I got 5 pumps to put in apparently between today and tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Other than that, I'm doing wonderful. I'm excited to talk to you guys about the show. We're here at Pool Nation, all about education, right? And networking, and what you guys have to offer and what you guys are doing is exciting. And I'm excited to get the backstory and who you are, so you can tell our people. But other than that, that's it. I'm good. Today, you see me?
You do. You got that makeup going on today. I can tell that they came in and did that makeup and got you ready this morning. You're looking sharp.
For sure.
Rachel, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. Good, thank you. Beautiful day here in Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
So, yes.
Nice. Scott, good morning. How you doing?
I couldn't be better. Just shipped the magazine last night, and that means that for a moment I just breathe a big sigh and look around the world and realize what a beautiful, beautiful place I live.
And that's of course all lived until what, 2:00 this afternoon, when you kind of realize, oh, wait a second, the show's right there. Forget about the magazine.
Yeah, we'll be meeting later, and it'll all start again.
Great. Abigail, how are you?
I'm doing well. Like Scott said, shipped the magazine last night, got a good night's sleep, had a great drive in. I'm looking at the lake right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the view is amazing.
To my right, so that's good.
So, John, we can put them in a little bit of terror and kind of, put them in a little shock, because all we have to say is show. You have a show, guys. You're relaxed, but you have a show. Let the
Imagine
stress
it,
kick
right?
in.
Look, we have such a small part, like when we do the show, right, and the awards that we do, and it is like, imagine having a whole show to take care of and to orchestrate. It is absolutely mind-boggling, to it, right? All the little pieces from behind the scenes that people just don't quite get to appreciate and see all the hard work from the people like yourselves, that you put all this stuff together for all of us, right? And it is definitely trying and trying times for sure. I feel for you guys.
Yeah, Rachel and I were talking about it before we jumped on, and it's like, we kind of do the Pool Nation Awards, and it's just this one little thing, but you guys put on that show, and you have whatever 200-300 booths. You had 200-300 different clients. We were talking about, oh my God, what happens if somebody's pallet of stuff doesn't show up? And we were talking about, Wayne at one of the shows. He had to sit in a chair because none of his stuff showed up. And so there's so many different things that go on to put on a show that I definitely couldn't work in that environment, because I think my stress and my anxiety would just be out the roof every single time trying to manage that. So, right, Rachel?
Right.
So, all right, guys, a couple things that we want to get out of the way really quick is we want to talk about the Pool Nation Awards. Voting is open, so get out there and vote. Go to poolnationawards.com, register and vote. Those are going to be held November 16th in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Convention Center. The other thing is that you do need to get tickets for the event. So go to poolnationawards.com. You can get the tickets there, or you can register through the show. On there, you can use the promo code PoolNation and register. The other thing that we wanted to talk about is that we're going to do a in-person business training class. This one's going to be held in Dallas on Saturday, September 24th from 10 to 6. And this one is a little bit different because it is only for the pool girls of the industry. We kind of partnered with Kelly from Pool Girl Training. And so if you want to register for that class, go to Pool Nation, go to the financial business class. You can register there for that session. And that's going to be Saturday from 10 to 6. The other thing that we're going to be doing on the Friday before, which is September 23rd, is we're going to be doing a women's networking event. So a lot of the women, that we're going to take part of this class said, hey, we'd like to do some type of networking event. So we kind of put together a networking event, and that's going to be the 23rd from 5 to 9 p.m. And we're going to have Danielle from the SPPA and Jamie Novak from Natural Chemistry come out, and they're going to be doing some little seminars, shared determination, a personal branding and leadership class for women. If you're interested in going, just go to poolnation.com. There's a button that says Women's Networking Event. Just go ahead and go there, register, or send us a message, and we'll get you guys set up.
Yep. So you guys remember to register for the financial class or for the women's nation.com and click the buttons to get you there to do it. We look forward to seeing you guys there. I will be personally attending the networking event with Mama this month, so we're excited about that. But before we jump into the podcast, I want to get to know you guys a bit. So let's start with Rachel. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up in the pool industry, please.
All right. So you said we have an hour. I can't.
Right.
No,
for
I'm
you,
really-
Rachel, we could do an hour and a half. So I'm
Yeah.
going to give you 30 minutes right now. Ready? Go.
I'm really not that interesting, so it'll be pretty quick. But I'm the newest member of our Aqua team here. So, and I consider myself the luckiest because I get to work with both our show and the magazine, and I've made some real good friends along the way. So, so I'm the show director for Aqua Live, which means I oversee kind of everything about Aqua Live and make it really happen. So if anything goes wrong, it's me. But little background about myself. I'm born and raised here in Wisconsin. So bleed green and gold. I'm full of cheese curds and brats, and my old fashions are made with brandy. So, so I love the outdoors, traveling, anything. I'm a busybody. So, yeah. No, I'm kind of slowing down before the show because I know it'll be a week full of very little sleep and kind of a go atmosphere. So kind of resting up. So
Getting a little bit of rest to dump it all into the show.
For sure.
Right. So let me ask you, so you're from Wisconsin, so I'm assuming you're a huge Green Bay fan.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the Green Bay fans are crazy.
We're born that way. Yeah.
It's one of those amazing towns for that. So you want to give us any predictions this year on Green Bay?
Well, I am the worst person to ask about that, honestly. I was kind of forced into joining a fantasy football league here, and I had Green Bay as my defense last night, which the Buffalo Bills played, and they were on my bench. So I am the worst person to talk football, but I'm a fan.
And you got your team, right?
So is it safe to say
defer to Abigail for that one?
Is there safe to say there's a picture of you with the cheese head hat on somewhere in existence?
Oh yeah. We've got koozies. So
Abigail, can you happen to send those over? And then what we can do is when we put the podcast, we could use that as a poster for it. We'll have Rachel with her cheese head.
We have some cheese heads right in the office, so if you want, I could dash all right now.
Put them on. Let's go.
Oh my God, let's do it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Scott, what about you? Give us a little bit of background, kind of what you do there.
I've just been the editor here for a little over 20 years. Started out as an engineer. I kind of tried my hand at a few things, failed at a few things, and but found a home in this job, really. And I enjoy the technical side of it. I really enjoy the chemistry part of it. I enjoy circulation. I like the numbers and the technical advancement. I'm into. I write those stories usually, and like so many people, the hotel or the pool and spa industry is like the Hotel California. You can pretend to check out, but you can't really leave. I've thought about leaving, but I just never actually would do it. And they'll end up carrying me out feet first at the end. Because I don't know. I don't think you can leave this industry because there's nothing as good.
I like that, John, because somebody at one of the events said that, you get into the industry and it is what did they call it? A lifetime,
Sentence.
thing where you can never
sentence.
leave. A lifetime sentence. But I think we need to get permission from Scott to use that one because I like that one. Like Hotel California, you check in, but you can never leave. Yeah. You can check out, but you can never leave.
I hear that all the time, and I'm trying to figure that portion why it's so, but I think I don't know, maybe it's in jam, right? And you don't really know about it until you're in it, and then you kind of discover it, and then I don't know. It's this pool industry. I personally, first, I would have never imagined that industry, and I think 99% of people say the same thing. And regardless of how stressful it can be sometimes, how frustrating it can be, I can never see myself doing anything else other than in the pool industry, right? It's just only a life sentence. It is Hotel California for sure. I agree.
And I think it's also the people. I mean, this is a really niche. I spent a lot of time in hotels, met a lot of great people, but it's such a unique blend of people in the industry that is awesome.
Unique blend of people. We got some weirdos, dude, in our industry for sure. That's a good way to put it, dude. We have some.
No, but there's some amazing people in the pool industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
this is a blessing. So Abigail, tell us a little bit about yourself and the role you have with Aqua Live.
And how you started your life sentence.
Yes.
Yeah.
What crime did you commit?
Yes.
Before you got committed.
So I used to work for Madison Magazine, which covers all things Madison. And then I switched over to Aqua about 4 years ago, and I'm the associate editor here. So I feel like I have a lot of different hats in helping our team. But in Aqua Live, I've just really, over the last 4 years, I've cultivated really good relationships with people. I work a lot with the retailers across the nation. Pool and spa retailers is kind of my niche, my role. Like Scott said, his is more, chemistry and that side. Mine, I think, is more the retailers. So just in cultivating those relationships, helping to get those people involved in the show, I think has been, a bit of my role. And like Rachel said, live and breathe, all things Madison. I actually live about an hour north of Madison in Portage on a 54-acre farm. So my sister has pigs and chickens and a pond that we fish at like every afternoon and go four-wheeler riding. So I'm a city gal, but I'm also very outdoorsy. I'm going up north just in a few weeks, which is what we say in Wisconsin, going up north, which is to say that we're just going to the cabin. So, yep.
That's pretty awesome. 54 acres, huh? That ought to take stress away from a lot of the work stuff, huh?
Yes, it is very nice to do a lap around the property. It's part of it you loop around and it's just 1 mile. So there's no excuse to not go outside and at least do that loop. I try to do that maybe at least 3 times a day. But,
nice. Yeah. That's nice. So let me ask. So Aqua Live is part of the Aqua magazine. And I think you guys used to have a show before and now it's back. So can you tell us a little bit about that and why you guys kind of decided to bring the show back?
Yeah, we we launched a show in like 1992, and the show was fantastically successful and grew to basically parity with the national show. And we sold it at a perfect time. We sold it right before the recession at a great price, and that was a fantastic time for us. And it was just for people who were there. I think some people listening will have attended that show. It had a special quality, maybe a quality without a name, but whatever you associate with the Aqua brand, I think that was imbued in the show. And we loved doing it. We thought we were good at it. And we signed a non-compete when we sold it. And when that ran out, basically, we started thinking about launching a new one. So here we are.
Well, that makes sense completely. That leads into my my other question when I said, what made you guys want to start the show up again? So it was you guys had, and you guys were just kind of like itching, waiting to make it happen once that ran out, right? Awesome.
COVID gave us pause because we had actually considered doing this before, but then of course that made us delay things a little bit. But yeah, that's basically we're the kind of people, it sort of fits with who we are as a company culture. We're kind of in-person gathering people. And so it just feels natural to us, really.
That's awesome. I mean, Aqua was the show, right? Back then? I mean,
yeah, on the same level as the national show. I can't say we were larger, but we had a large show that competed with the national show. Not that I want to get into competition or anything like that, but yeah, we when we sold that, we had a period of time where we were a non-compete, and now we're just getting back into it.
And you said that was back in 2006, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't, excuse me, I don't remember I kind of got into the pool business around then, but I don't remember, that show, but that makes sense, 2006. So where's the show going to be held this year?
This year we're in Charlotte, North Carolina. So it's at the Charlotte Convention Center. Beautiful, beautiful convention center, by the way, if you've ever been. So, and everybody will be there. So it's looking forward to it. Great setting. The city is absolutely beautiful. So we're excited to be there.
What made you guys choose Charlotte for the show? I mean, you had plenty of venues across the country, right? What made you choose Charlotte?
One of the big things is, after talking to a lot of people, and since we made that choice, we've heard this even more. It's a really growing pool and spa market, which has been underserved by shows. When we went out there to look at, we all flew out and we looked around, we talked to people, and we were amazed at the growth. And this is a really up and coming area, I guess, of the pool market. People always, of course, you talk about California, Arizona, Texas, and Florida, but that area of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and a little bit further up the coast is just a rapidly growing pool area. And I'm even taking in Tennessee there. And we just thought it'd be a great place for people to come to meet that market and see that area. And it would be a really easy location to get to. There were just a lot of positives.
Have there been other shows up in that area? Because I don't remember from
a very long time ago. There was a Southeast Pool and Spa show somewhere in that area, but that's been a real long time. And there was a show in Atlanta years back, again, the Southeast Pool and Spa, and they've jumped around to a few locations. But that's about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That obviously, John, that area probably is going under the radar. But I think didn't Hayward move out to the Carolinas somewhere? So that also has to tell you a little bit of something. I mean, if you have a pool builder, not a pool builder, a manufacturer that's moving out to an area, they're not going to go to an area that doesn't have some sort of demand. So now, is it going to be over? Is that going to be the new home for it? Are you guys going to do it there every year? Or are you guys planning on moving the show around?
We plan on moving it around. I think for me personally, I believe that especially with a new show, you kind of want the show to get its own personality. So here we're taking, our new show and, seeing what it grows to, where the audience wants to go, where we really find our niche. So after this year, we'll be in Vegas next year. So we're kind of seeing, East Coast, West Coast, do we, Central, and, kind of rotate that way. But again, letting the show get its own personality and, feeding that through or getting that through attendees, exhibitors, speakers, where the industry is going. So,
yeah, I like that idea, moving around, because it opens up, or to an audience that sometimes, or they just can't get there, right? And you get exposure, and you give exposure to pool pros out there that just don't have sometimes the opportunity to go, right? And
right,
if you're near their backyard or within a few hours drive, it's okay for them. The ones that are already flying out to North Carolina can fly out to Texas, can fly out to Florida, can fly out to wherever the following year if they're in a position financially where they can do that, But others that don't have that exposure, I that to give other people opportunity and to some education, because I think there's a lot of pool pros out there that are flying under the radar that that just don't know or don't have that opportunity to learn or have education or see products and get excited about the pool industry, or just get to see the stuff that we get to see all the time. So I'm
Right.
all for moving venues constantly.
Yeah, it's rare that people have the opportunity to go to a show every single year, year over year, depending on schedules, budgets. So giving people different opportunities is what I believe our job is. So making that available and, as accessible as possible.
So,
And that's part of the reason why we looked at Charlotte too as well, because, when looking at our own network of subscribers, we have 8,000 subscribers within a 200-mile of Charlotte. So that's a lot of potential for drive-in traffic to that city as well. And then also, when we kind of decided that we were going to do Charlotte, we conducted just a reader survey within that 200-mile of subscribers and found that we were able to confirm that the pool industry is very fast growing there. 90% of these local builders reported that business is roaring. And so I think it's just a really good opportunity to capitalize on that growth in, like I said, one of the fastest growing markets, I think, in the United States. So Charlotte, and it's beautiful with weather that time of year as well.
okay. Interesting with your guys' show is that you also have a magazine, right? And so to have both, how does that dynamic is an advantage? I mean, I personally look at it like you do your show, and usually, we have shows, and then you have the show, and then you have to wait till next year. But with the magazine, it's like the show goes on constantly, right? 12 months out of the year, but just more in a digital form opposed to a physical form. How do you guys take advantage of that, or what's your thoughts on having both, and do you think it helps?
It definitely an enormous advantage. We found that with our old show, and those advantages, it'd take a long time to name them all. There, just starting with, basically a magazine and a website is already a community that we're trying to build those relationships every day. A show's kind of just the same thing. It's just in person. So all of that translates directly. Abigail and I and the rest of our team, we think every day about all the issues that are going on in the pool industry and the people in it. And that just translates directly into putting on a show. We're thinking about the education part of it because we live the education part of it every day. And we're thinking about the people involved. The brand, of course, helps because we already have a means of marketing the show and reaching people and telling people about it. If you're going to launch a show without any of those things, I think that would be really hard. And then, what we've done is just hired Rachel and her team to also to really work on a lot of the, there's just an awful lot, obviously, logistics and details. Like you were saying, there's a million little things that you've got to get right. And we're going to put all that together. And but basically, we want to have fun. That's the main idea.
Yeah, and that's kind of like why we called it Aqua Live, is taking everything Aqua Magazine is and bringing that live and in person. So that name encompasses, I think, our mission in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And it's like Scott was saying, you kind of already have that big community, and it always helps to obviously trying to do something, and you can already kind of tap into the networking, the people, the relationships that you have there. And it's almost like you take the magazine and everything that you do there, and I love the name of it, is now you just kind of take that magazine and you take it live into an event, right? Just the articles, the education that you put on the magazine, the networking, the manufacturers, all that, and you're just kind of taking that whole part of it and put it live. So is that why you guys decided on the name Live? Because that all of a sudden makes a lot of sense for me. I'm like, oh my God, that's like perfect.
Yeah, that's why we decided
Is that
on it.
really?
Yeah, we thought that would, again, encompass what we wanted to do, which, like you said, everything in the magazine, put it in a live format where people can learn in real time.
And that's pretty awesome, John, because if you think about you do have all these people that you talk to throughout the whole year and all that kind of stuff. And for us, the fun thing is being able to bring our community together and be able to hang out with them. And that's, I think, the highlight of some of the things that we do. So I think for your guys' show, that's going to be pretty epic to bring, you know, all those people in and have that live interaction with everybody. So that's pretty awesome. Now, do you guys have a keynote speaker?
We do. We've got Rowdy Gaines as our keynote speaker. So, and that's on Thursday, the 6th of October. And if there's ever an Olympian that we as an industry want to relate to, Rowdy would be it. As far as his, you know, both the messaging that he has on, you know, his trials and tribulations of, you know, his Olympic career, but also, you know, the teamwork aspect of it, which everybody can relate to. But he's also involved with PHTA and a huge advocate for them. So if you ever thought you couldn't relate to an Olympian, you're wrong. So we've got it.
And that was pretty amazing, John. I didn't know about Rowdy Gaines, but Abigail, you were sharing some of your stories with regards to him, and it's pretty amazing a lot of the things that he's been through.
Yeah, I mean, his story is pretty phenomenal. For those that don't know, he was going to be in the Olympics in 1980, but that was when President Carter announced a U.S. boycott of the Moscow Olympics, and so he had to wait another 4 years. You know, similar to just what Olympians experienced over the pandemic, to stay at that kind of athletic level for another 4 years is difficult and pretty phenomenal. So then he went into the 1984 Olympics, in Los Angeles, where he won an individual gold in the 100-meter freestyle. And then he won 2 more in relay teams. So that was his first comeback story. But then he also has a second comeback story where he actually fell paralyzed for a few weeks and had to go through physical therapy and regain his strength and his, you know, athleticism. And then he went on to win 2 world master titles after that. So, you know, two stories of overcoming adversity. And so I think that's something that people can relate to as, you know, pool and spa industry professionals, is just, you know, learning from that story, learning from the teamwork that comes with winning relay races. And he's also, you know, a nice guy, funny guy, and a phenomenal speaker. So, yep, he's a great choice, I think, for us.
Yeah, definitely. And not only that, is he got the life sentence, right? He's in the pool industry with us.
Yeah, now he's, you know, closely involved with PHTA, and
right.
He's close to home. So yeah.
But that's pretty amazing, John. You think about it, you're like at your top peak, you're ready to go to the Olympics, and all of a sudden there's, you know, the boycott, and boom. And it's like Abigail said, to stay 4 years in that top level, that's difficult. So
I mean, to me, I look at it like, you know, differentiates the difference between like good and great, right? And an Olympian, somebody he's obviously was destined for it, right? And someone with that mentality. There's not many people out there with that type of hunger and work ethic and fighting spirit. You know, to them, it's like, okay, you know, that's their life. And he was obviously meant to be the champion. I'm sure if he in the 80s, he would have won there also. So, but it is fascinating, those types of things, right? And
yeah, very inspiring, I think.
So what are some of the events that you guys are going to have there at the show?
Yeah, so we're going to have our keynote. We're also going to have our welcome reception at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And that is, I think, a staple in Charlotte. Some of our team was able to go there and experience that venue themselves. There's a racing simulator, which you can actually get behind the wheel of a NASCAR and feel the adrenaline, what that's like. You can do a pit stop, which I personally am going to do just because I've always seen that on TV and wondered how difficult it is. So I'm going to see if I'm probably going to be really bad, but I'd like to give it a try.
Now you're gonna do the part of the pit stop of like changing the tire pit stop part.
Yeah, that's part of the interaction of the venue that you can try that out. But then we're gonna have like drinks, open bar, hors d'oeuvres, live music. We got a local Charlotte band to play, and that's the welcome reception is free with a full conference registration. So,
Ab, I just wanted to. Ed couldn't make the trip out, but that setup with the Hall of Fame literally being attached to the convention hall. I've been going to shows for a long time, and I've never seen a setup like this where you literally can walk out the door and you're steps away from this amazing new Hall of Fame facility, which is bright and spectacular. And I'm a dilettante. I'm a dabbler in NASCAR, but I was blown away. It really is impressive. Not only the activities that you can do there, but the Hall of Fame itself is really amazing. Like I said, I've been to a lot of shows. I try to go to as many as I can go to every year. I don't think I've ever seen a welcome party venue like this, and I think people will be blown away by it.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of on that trip out to Charlotte. We saw a bunch of venues, and they were all great in their own way. But Scott and I met after that trip, and we're like, we got to get NASCAR. That, like, hands down. And just so everybody knows, I do have video of Scott doing that pit stop. So
Awesome.
I need this ammo,
Just
people.
saying.
Please don't tease me and then not deliver. I need the cheese heads, and now I need Scott behind the wheel.
yeah.
Scott, do you want to confess how that went?
I lost to Fish, but because it's side by side, you literally have a mark, and then you run to the equipment, and they're timing you. And Fish, I can't compete with my partner in crime, Fish. He's better at almost everything, and he was really good at this. He's from a small town. Those people are just more competent. I've found so.
John, I think I could take you.
I'm sure you could.
I could take you for sure.
And we do the intro with the fastest netter in the West. Every time I hear that now, and as I get older, every day and every morning when I wake up and my bones hurt and my muscles hurt and my back hurts, I'm not that fast anymore, as fast as I used to be. So, mentally, I'm sure I could take you out, but I don't know anymore. I think 4:00 in the afternoon, because that's when I'm finally awake and roaring, and my body's oiled up, and motion is lotion, and I'm ready to rock and roll. But for the first the day, I'm still hurting from the sleep that I got the night before.
Yeah, I think I'd be a little bit afraid of Abigail though, because she kind of seems kind of a little quiet like that. But she's telling us that she wants to do the pit stop stuff. So she's like thought about the whole process, and she's all in.
I'm very competitive, and people would not assume that of me because I'm a little quiet, but no, I'm very competitive. Family game night was a nightmare growing up. Yeah.
Edgar, why don't we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, guys, we will continue.
Sounds great.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today. Pivot how you clean pools. Debris that makes it to the bottom always enters from the surface. Clean from the top with Ariel, a smart solar-powered pool skimming robot. She works around the clock skimming pesky and fine debris off the pool surface. Tell your customers about Ariel and earn big commission on every sale. With advanced solutions like Ariel, you'll spend less time at the pools you service, improve customer relations, and increase your bottom line. Plus, pool owners will enjoy a constantly swim-ready and healthy pool and lower energy bills. Visit pivotpoolproducts.com/dealers to see how much you can earn and for resources on how to get your customers to ditch the net for good.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We are talking to Rachel, Abigail. And by the way, anybody that's listening to this on the podcast, I need you to go to Facebook and go to YouTube. Go to about minute 43, minute 45, and then you guys can see a picture of Scott on there. He completely pulled out his cheese head.
I didn't notice it because, I mean, I got back, I turned my camera on, then something, and I looked at it and I couldn't stop laughing. I'm glad I had the mic off because I think I yelped.
I didn't know if you caught me, Scott, but while we were on the commercials, I was sitting here with my phone taking pictures of my screen with you on there, so that I do have the ammo just in case.
Well, we normally wear them all the time. We took them off.
So, Abigail, I do have to tell you this. As soon as we went on break, my phone rang, and it was John calling me, and John was going, if we go out to the show, we could totally take Abigail. We could take her. I got you. He's like, he goes, I was being nice on the podcast, but I can take you and I can take Abigail. So I don't know, Abigail, if we are able to make it out to the show, I think the challenge is going to be on. And the concern that I have, John, is that now you're kind of going, oh, Pool Nation said that they could take Abigail. And I don't think that can happen.
Let's do it. Aqua against Pool Nation. Be there, be square.
John,
Wow.
we are going to crash and burn, my friend. So, anyways, so guys, here's one of the things that we love to geek out at here at Pool Nation. And, I talked in detail with Abigail about this, but I know that you guys have some education that you're really putting a focus on. So can you guys tell us about your education and how you kind of want to stand out from the other shows?
Yeah, this is the thing that, we think of ourselves as educators through the magazine. That's what we strive for with the magazine and the website. And this is just a great opportunity to take that in another direction. And we're really excited about the people that we have coming. There's too many to go into detail with all of them. I'm going to just pick out a couple of my favorites. Rick Howard is big in education in the Florida Spa and Pool Association. He does this course called Plumbing Nightmares. It's a riot. He has images of just what he's encountered in his years of service, and those are amazing. And anyone who's in the service industry knows that you're going to run into some things in people's backyards that you'll just be astounded at. And if you really collected those, it's really quite a collection. And he goes in, he uses that as a springboard to teaching great circulation and just fundamental pool plumbing principles. He's going to do 2 shows. We got him to do it twice because it's been so popular that he's going to do that again. And John, you must have encountered some things, some amazing stuff over the years.
Oh yeah.
Is
to say the least.
Well, we've just got some of my favorite people, from Lou Aikens, industry legend, Steve Barnes, Paolo Benedetti. We've got Tom Dankel, Sabina Hickman, leader of PHTA, will be speaking. We've got Roy Vore, really preeminent expert in pool chemistry. We've got Brian Van Bauer and the entire Skip Phillips, that whole crew with Genesis. Rudy Stankiewicz, who's great to listen to. I've really always enjoyed his classes. Alicia Stevens. We've got some really unique stuff. We've got a presentation called the Pool Brothers. I think, Abigail, were you going to talk about that one a little bit?
I can talk about it. Yeah, so Charles Wise and Lou Atkins, they have 96 combined years of experience in the pool industry, and really just fun, very knowledgeable guys. But what they do is they call themselves the Pool Brothers, and they'll put on black coats, the hat, the glasses, like the Pool Brothers movie, and they'll, jot into the room with the music, which is pretty funny. Scott, have you seen this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Scott's been there in person, and so we really wanted to nail these guys down to do the after show.
We told them that they had to come and do this. That they just do a really great job. These 2 legendary pool builders do an amazing job they get into the Blues Brothers, and then they just use that as a springboard to talking about, again, some of the things that can go wrong in pool building. They've seen it all. They've seen everything that can happen. And they just, like I said, use that as a springboard to get into that. It's different, it's unique, it's fun. And I think that embodies the spirit of what we're really going to try to do out there.
And I think that's great because, I'm going to be honest. A lot of the shows that we go to and stuff like that, you get some of these classes, and it's the same routine, right? And we kind of get so custom into somebody coming, talking. Everybody sits, everybody listens. It's about how do you change it up? How do you make it fun? And how do you. So Abigail, you were telling me about that one, and I wrote that one down to make sure you guys talked about it, because I thought it was neat, and there's a big Q&A on it. But to kind of come in and change things up, it catches a lot of people off guard, and then those are the things that they remember, and they'll talk about the show. So I definitely love that.
Yeah,
um
excited to have them.
Now, you guys do also other stuff for retailers as well, which I thought was kind of neat. What do you guys do for retailers?
Right. So we have our Aqua 100 competition. It's a national competition where we invite pool and spa retailers from across the nation to submit pretty rigorous application about their company history, merchandising strategy, what, even just, as of late, how they've been successful over the pandemic conditions. And so we have some courses that those winners will be speaking at the show. We wanted, again, to invite, people who already are lights in our magazine to be, a light at the show as well. One of the ones is Richard's Total Backyard Solutions. One of our winners will be talking on social media strategy. We also have another one just on KPIs and measuring metrics in your retail business as well. So we like that we have different sectors, so a little something for everyone in each line: builder, service, retail, and then just general business operation as well. So a little something for everyone.
Yeah, I love that. That class on the social media, especially for retailers, right? And how can they, turn that in and use that for their businesses. But John, this is one of the things that I like, and that's a little bit unique about the show is normally we'll do, a show where it's all pool pros. Normally you'll have something that's just pool builders, big focus on the pool builders, the pool pros. Yeah, but they're not a lot. But with the Aqua, you're kind of even bringing in that aspect from the retailers, right? And we're all this big, huge family within the pool industry, but they're addressing the pool builders, the pool pros, and the retailers, and kind of bringing everybody in. And we've talked about it before. It's like, how do we, even reach that audience, because they're part of our industry. And so I love what you guys are doing with the aspects of the magazine and bringing everybody together and giving everybody a little bit of education, because for those retailers, that's huge.
Well, what you're saying kind of goes into the question that I wanted to ask next was, every show usually has a targeted audience, physically or verbally say it, but you have a show that is more primarily focused on education. You might have a show that is more focused on just the service industry. You have another show that might be more focused on the pool builders. For your show, where do you want to stake your flag at? What do you look at? Think of the Aqua show, right? Is it, do you have a targeted audience or a certain area that you want to say, hey, look, we are the premier destination for this or that? Or what do you want the Aqua show to be known for?
Well, we definitely never actually think of ourselves as one of those groups. We always think of ourselves as builder, retail, and service, and we each of us try to get an expertise in one of those. We've sort of divided that up on our staff, but we always, are trying to understand all the categories in the industry, and the show's definitely the same. We definitely want to have great builder stuff through Genesis and Water Shapes and the other builders that aren't in either of those groups that will be there speaking. But we've got great service stuff, and we got great retail stuff. We always think in terms of all three of those groups. And it's really because most of the big successful operations, or a lot of them, will contain all three of those elements under one brand.
And I also think what's unique about our show is that we're pool and spa professionals too. Like, we're obsessed with this stuff, just like the people that are attending. And so, you know, it really is like us throwing a show that we would want to attend as well. Like, I know Scott and I already have our list down of education seminars that, you know, we're going to be right up in there and attending. So it's going to be really beneficial for us too, just as professionals in our field as well. So,
and if I can, like, my goal in coming from an outsider, you know, somebody brand new to this industry, I knew very little. I knew I wanted a pool someday, and that's about it. So now that I'm, you know, immersing myself in learning new things every day about the industry, I looked at it as, you know, we might not get, you know, I don't know how many attendees have, you know, years of experience or who are brand new to the industry, but giving people the opportunity to, you know, strategize their path through the show and say, you know, I don't have to stick in one track or category. That's not how a show is. You know, you learn from, you know, I want this class on chemistry, but then again, you know, I really enjoy the social media part of it, you know, so giving people an opportunity to like scatter their, you know, making their own journey for the show through education is the part that I like about it, and what I wanted to really culminate through organizing the conference and, you know, working with Scott and Abigail on it, and, you know, just giving that big landscape.
Super exciting. And then not only that, you guys are getting close, and this is kind of like your baby, right? Like you're kind of, you know, you guys were out, you're bringing it back. And now, you know, Scott, you probably had some time to take a pause from it and kind of be able to all of a sudden sit there and start looking at it going, man, if we come back, we want to do this different. We want to do that different, right? Because sometimes when you're in every day, it's hard to step back and be able to look. But I think that you guys are in a great spot from a lot of different aspects. And John, I'm not going to do the you thing, and I'm going to save it for my final thoughts. But let me ask you one last question here. So let's talk a little bit about the show. Let's talk about the dates. Let's talk about if somebody wants to attend the show, where should they go onto the website if they want to find a hotel near the show? What's the best way for them to go about all of that?
Rachel, do you want to take the hotel portion of that?
Sure, I can. So we'll start from the beginning with the dates of when they want the hotel. So the show. So we the main days of the show are October 5th through the 7th. So that's Wednesday through Friday. There are pre-conference session options as well. So we have the Genesis concrete pools, which is the 3-day pre-conference session. That's Monday through Wednesday. And then the fluid hydraulics workshop as well. And that's Tuesday, Wednesday. And then the National Plasters Council workshop is also Tuesday. So we've got things kind of brewing in the beginning of the week, but then Wednesday is when everything really starts. So back to the hotels. So we have a plethora of hotels in walkable distance from the convention center. If you've booked a hotel anytime recently, you know, prices are pretty high. So these prices are, I believe, pre-pandemic prices, which we locked in at a very low rate. So very affordable, but the block does close. Let's see, I believe next week. So, but there's still plenty available, and we'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
So, sorry, Abigail.
No, and for those of you that are thinking of booking hotels, I'm going to tell you a little trick because I worked in the industry. as you get closer, that revenue management and that event gets in, those special prices get dropped off and those rates are going to skyrocket. So if you're going to book that room, you better book it now and don't wait.
Yes. Thank you.
Or else you'll be sitting in a Super 8 like
you see what I take from him, Abigail? But yet, Abigail, he was the one saying that he was going to smoke you out the whole NASCAR thing. That's all I got to say. That's why he called me on break to kind of brag. So
Yeah, we'll see.
So, Abigail, what else for the website? What is the URL for the website for them to be able to go, find your guys and register? And
Right. So it's aquamag.live, AQUAMAG.live. Everything on there from, schedule to the expo hall. You can, view our full list of exhibitors, to, booking your hotel, to flight information. Everything is on there.
that is great. So it's aquamag.live.
Yes. Yep.
All right, everybody. So aquamag.live. See, I already screwed that up. I tried to be smooth and I just there.
It's easier to remember. If you go to aquamagazine.com, we also have a link to the show website as well. So
there you go.
Both ways.
That's the way to do it. So, all right, guys, let's do this. Let's take actually, you know what? Let me backtrack really quick before we take our final words. And I want to throw it back to you guys. Is there anything that we have not talked about that you guys maybe want to highlight about the show?
We could talk about the Aqua Backyard. I don't know if we.
Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about that.
So when thinking about the actual expo hall, we wanted a unique space for people to kind of congregate and maybe take in some more education courses. So the Aqua Backyard is going to have essentially a backyard feel. Rachel ordered some, I call them bags, but what's that game, Rachel?
Cornhole. I keep calling them bags too, and people are like, "What?
What are you talking about? Bags?
Great, you got tote bags."
I thought you were thinking bean bags for sitting down, as I thought.
Yeah. So we'll have, just that kind of friendly environment. We'll have some on-floor education there. We'll have some cocktail happy hour in that spot, but there's going to be turf and backyard lights, and it's just going to have a nice casual feel to it, somewhere to go on the show floor. That's cool. That is nice. And the Aqua staff will be there at the happy hour if you want to come and say hello. And then, some speakers are planning on going to that spot as well. So
that's great. Love it. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's take our final words from our sponsors. When we come back, John, I want to get your final thoughts.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add recurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today. Pivot how you clean pools. Debris that makes it to the bottom always enters from the surface. Clean from the top with Ariel, a smart solar-powered pool skimming robot. She works around the clock skimming pesky and fine debris off the pool surface. Tell your customers about Ariel and earn big commission on every sale. With advanced solutions like Ariel, you'll spend less time at the pools you service, improve customer relations, and increase your bottom line. Plus, pool owners will enjoy a constantly swim-ready and healthy pool and lower energy bills. Visit pivotpoolproducts.com/dealers to see how much you can earn and for resources on how to get your customers to ditch the net for good.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation podcast. We're talking to Rachel, Abigail, and Scott with the Aqua Live Show. Super excited to connect with you guys and hear about your show. John, since I'm recording from what you said, the Motel 6, I think when I end the podcast, I'm going to say, this is Edgar from Motel 6. I'll leave the light on for you. How's that sound? That sound good? Perfect. Okay. So, John, let me get your final thoughts.
Well, first, Abigail, Rachel, Scott, I want to thank you for coming on. And I personally, and anybody that knows us knows that we're huge on education and networking and bringing this industry together, right? And I believe shows, including yours, is a great avenue for that, right? It helps us interconnect everybody out there. And I'm personally excited to see the Aqua Live Show and to see what you guys have in store. It sounds like it is going to be an amazing show, and I wish huge success. And I'm looking forward to being there and working with you guys and seeing what you guys have to bring to us, because like I said, I remember my that I went to, and it kind of changed the game for us. Pool service technicians, right, or pool pro, our own little world, and it's hard to sometimes, especially if you're new in the industry and you get into it, and it's hard to build, friendships, to speak with other, business owners, because we're so engaged, fully focused on what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, and we're working 12-14 hours, and we come home and we're tired, and we really don't have time to do that networking during our days, other than driving by a pool girl and saying hi or waving, right? Or sometimes you'll get the occasional bird from a pool guy for some reason, but other than that, right, there's really get that that camaraderie, right, or that networking, where the shows, having the education and putting on those shows for us, because I can't imagine it is this huge money-making operation, right? This is a lot of heart, love, passion for the industry, and a lot of things that you guys are to us, right? That gives everybody an opportunity to where we can kind of, take off our business caps, right? And be as people and interact with the beings, right? Because we're a different breed of individuals, pool guys and girls out there. And when, we don't have that opportunity to talk and to share war stories or outright, and to build from there. And you guys putting on the show, like I said, is a step in the right direction. I'm glad you guys are back, and I just wish you guys, and I hope you guys knock it out of the park.
Scott, let me ask you.
Better that especially the way you wound that up. That's who we are. We're just people getting together. I call this a family reunion. That's really the way we think of it. And we're really just there to have fun with some of the great people from the industry.
Now, let me ask you guys this. So you guys have the Aqua magazine, and so I'm sure you have a big community within that Aqua magazine. So with the magazine, you have a lot of readers, you have a lot of followers and stuff like that. Do they engage with you guys a lot? Do they email you guys? Do they reach out? Do you have that type of connection with the magazine?
Of course. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, and here's where I geek out, John. So I can only imagine, right? So, you know, we're more on the social media side, on you know, doing video content and doing that. And so we do get a lot of people that reach out, and we kind of create that community. I can only imagine with a magazine, because it's got a lot more solid and a lot more reach, right, with regards to that community. And you guys put out, you know, a magazine every month. So there's a lot that goes through it, right? There's a lot of people that you're reaching out for content and for articles and all the readers and all that kind of stuff. And so for us, it's very exciting when we do, whether it's just a show, that we show up to a show and we have everybody kind of show up. And to us, that's exciting. That's the highlight of what we do. I can tell you I'm a little bit jealous, John, because I can only imagine having a magazine and all these subscribers and all that community, and then being able to put a show together and have that come together at that scale. That's got to be, we do with the awards and stuff like that, but tenfold, because you're getting it from every aspect. You're getting the retailers, you're getting the builders, you're getting the pool pros. And then you're kind of, like Scott said, we're just kind of this family gathering to where we do just a little chunk of it, but this show is going to have thousands and thousands of people. So I think it's super exciting. I think that with regards to what you guys are doing, from, you know, the different events, right, with the backyards, with the pool brothers and stuff like that, and kind of changing what has become a routine for the pool industry, and then going out and saying, hey, we're going to look at different areas like North Carolina. And there's some homework that went into that. I can tell it wasn't just oh, well, let's go somewhere else, right? Like, you looked at the subscribers, you did the homework. It's a new area, you know, let's start there. Let's bring the Aqua Live there. And you're focusing on everybody. And this is what I love. You're focusing on the retailer, the pool pro, and the builder, which I don't see a lot of shows doing out there. So I'm super excited for you guys. I think this is exactly what the industry needs. We need more shows. We need more education so the pool pros can get out there. And the fact that you guys are bringing everybody together is my favorite part of the whole thing. So I wish you guys nothing but success. And Abigail, I'm going to try to convince John to go out there, because I am going to record you spanking him on the NASCAR thing, and then me running it all over through social media with John like 10 minutes behind, trying to, you know.
I better start practicing.
Huffing and puffing, right?
He's huffing and puffing, you know. So anyways, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on to the podcast, for taking the time. I know that especially this time of the year, you guys are like super slam busy trying to pull off this big event. So we really appreciate it. We hope you have a great show, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right. Have a great one, guys. We'll talk next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. Poolmanuniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at Poolmanuniversity.com.